Hi boys and girls. It's been about a week since my last video when I checked in on you and we talked a little bit about worrying. Today I was thinking my bucket's been filling up because I've been looking on Facebook and seeing you do some really special things outside with your family, inside you're doing projects, and I got really excited to know that you're having a good time. Even during this coronavirus when everything's all mixed up, you know that there's always people around that's there to help you and have you have a good day. And I was thinking, I miss even seeing my dad. I'm not even allowed to go see my dad. And I miss seeing a lot of my family members. But another group that I miss seeing is the group, my friends. I miss seeing my friends at Russell Primary. I miss seeing my friends all around in my neighborhood. And I started thinking, what would be a good book to share with you? And then I thought, what was the little character that always brought a smile to your face because he liked to do practical jokes? I read about this character a few weeks back when we were in school. Does anybody think they can guess? Take just a minute. I'm going to give you a clue. He's very colorful. That's right, you guessed it. Elmer. Elmer the elephant. You remember he was always playing little practical jokes on his other jungle friends, and they loved him. Elmer didn't like being patchwork. He didn't like being different. And by the end of the story, he realized that he was very important, and he liked being patchwork. So I have another little book that I want to share with you about our friend Elmer, and I chose Elmer Again by Robert McKee. Elmer the patchwork elephant was bored. It was 2 days before another Elmer's Day, the day when elephants cover themselves with bright patterns, and all the elephants were quietly thinking about how they would decorate themselves. But Elmer didn't have to think. He was always colored gray for the Elmer's Day parade. "It's too quiet around here," said Elmer. "I'm going for a walk." So Elmer set off down the path. We need a joke to liven things up, he thought, but no good jokes came to mind. Just then he came to a pool. He looked down at his reflection. "Hello, Elmer," he said to himself in the water. "You've just given me a good idea. Thank you." When he returned, the others were still quietly thinking. Elmer walked over to his friend Harold and whispered in his ear. Harold smiled and winked. He said nothing. Then Elmer settled down for a rest. He had a long night ahead of him. When night fell, Elmer waited until the others were asleep. Then, taking care not to wake them, he set to work. Before sunrise, he had finished. He tiptoed off to another part of the forest to sleep for what was left of the night. In the morning, the first elephant to wake looked at his neighbor and said, "Good morning, Elephant," or Elmer. One after another, the elephants woke. "Good morning, Elmer," each one said to his neighbor. "Good morning, Elmer. Good morning, Elmer. Good morning, Elmer. Good morning, Elmer." During the night, Elmer had painted all the elephants to look like him. Now, there were Elmers everywhere, and nobody knew which one was the real one. "Are you Elmer?" the elephants began to ask one another. "I don't know," the elephants answered. "I might be today, but I'm sure I wasn't yesterday." Then one of the elephants called out, "This is another Elmer trick. Come on, let's splash across the river and wash off the colors. Then we'll see who the real Elmer is." The Elmers raced to the river and splashed to the other side. But when they got there, they were all gray. "Where's Elmer?" they asked. "Here, of course," said a gray elephant. "Don't you recognize me?" "But you're the same color as us," gasped the others. "So I am," said Elmer. "Wonderful, I always wanted to be just like you." "This is awful," said the elephants. "Elmer can't be like the rest of us. Things won't be the same without a patchwork elephant." "Well, there's nothing I can do about it," said Elmer. "Unless—" "What?" cried the others. "The colors that washed off are still floating in the water," said Elmer. "If I run back through them, I may return to normal." "Try it," shouted the others. "Try anything to get your colors back." "Yahoo!" called Elmer, and he raced across the river and vanished into the trees on the other side. In a moment, he reappeared, and once again in his bright patchwork colors. "Hooray!" cheered the elephants from across the river. "It worked. We've got our Elmer again." They began to chant, "Elmer, Elmer, Elmer." Suddenly, another elephant came out of the trees. "Did you call?" he asked. He was soaking wet, as if he had just run across the river. The other elephants just stood and stared for a minute. They didn't know what to think. "This Elmer is Harold," said Elmer, and he and Harold began to laugh. The herd of elephants burst out laughing then. "We should have known our Elmer's colors would not wash off," they said. Then they all jumped into the river to celebrate two Elmers, and the whole jungle shook with laughter at the best Elmer joke ever. So Elmer was up to his tricks again, only this time he had his friend Harold to help him out. And that's what our friends do, isn't it? They help us out. There's another friend I want to talk to you about, or tell you a little bit about. It's a friend that I had when I was a little girl, just like you guys, when I was in school. And her name was Susie. And we would play together. We grew up. We went to high school dances with each other, did all kinds of fun things. And then we were even college roommates. And I really miss getting to see Susie right now because of this coronavirus. But we still text and we still talk. And I want to show you something fun, a project I did thinking about my friend Susie, and something you may be able to do with just a few basic supplies at your house. You could get some paper that's laying around, an ink pen, scissors, maybe a little glue or a little tape, and I'll show you what you can make. Now remember, I made this a long time ago. So it has a few tears, it has a few wrinkles, but I love to look at it when I want to think about my friend Susie. I made Susie a big round face. I put on her cute red hair, and in the middle I wrote, "Susie is my best friend because." And then I thought of 4 things that I really love about Susie. And something we have in common is we both love chocolate. We like to talk about old times because remember, we've been together and friends for a long time. She has a wonderful sense of humor, just like Elmer. She loves to play practical jokes and laugh. And she helped me with my problems, and that's a really important thing that friends do. So boys and girls, as you are sitting at home thinking about missing friends, maybe this is a project you could do, and it would help you think about what you and your friends do that are the same and some things that you do are different. Remember, our friend Elmer, he was different in a lot of ways, and they loved him so much. I just want you to remember, as I'm ending this video, that we love you, we miss you. I want you to stay safe and healthy. Keep washing those hands, and remember to have some fun with your friends as soon as all this crazy stuff's over. Bye-bye for now.